Manf, same skin, same wound, same fight. Discrimination called draws Gauff in the spotlight the tennis world has seen. Rivalries, controversies, a moment of pure inspiration, but what unfolded this week? Between Gail Money and Coco Gauff. Transcended sport itself wasn't about rankings or trophies. It was about identity, humanity, and the shared scars of fight that has never truly ended when Manf, one of the most charismatic veterans on the ADP, uttered the words, same skin, same wounds, same fight. The stadium fell into stunned silence. Those words, raw, powerful, unfiltered, echoed far beyond the court, and before anyone could process it, the name Coco Gauff was drawn into the storm. This was not a scheduled collaboration or a pre-planned statement. It was a spontaneous moment of solidarity, one that would redefine how the world viewed two of tennis's most recognizable faces. A match that became a movement. It began innocently enough. Monfils was playing a second round match at a European indoor tournament. The French veteran, adored for his flamboyant play style and infectious smile, was battling fatigue and a rowdy crowd that seemed unusually hostile. But something shifted. Mid-match, spectators began shouting comments not about his play, but about him, about his background, about his skin. For a moment, the cameras didn't catch everything, but the murmur spread quickly online. Racist remarks, whispered one journalist in the press box. Monfils tried to brush it off. He'd faced worse before, but then as the comments grew louder, something in him broke. When he won the final point, he didn't celebrate. He dropped his racket, looked up at the stands, and said quietly into the camera, same skin, same wounds, same fight. It wasn't just a message. It was a statement of unity with every black athlete who had endured discrimination in silence. And almost immediately, fans and fellow players began drawing parallels and connections to Coco Gauff. The connection, Gauff silent struggle. Coco Gauff has never shied away from speaking truth to power. At just 21, she's not only a Grand Slam champion, but a voice for justice, fairness, and equality. She has spoken openly about racism, gender inequality, and the pressure young black women face in elite sports. So, when Monfils' words went viral, reporters quickly sought her reaction. Within hours, her name was trending alongside his. A clip from her post-match interview surfaced. She was asked directly about Monfils' comment. She paused for a long moment before replying, "What Gail said, I felt that. I've lived that. Sometimes people think we leave our identity in the locker room when we step onto court, but we don't. It's with us. Every serve, every point, every breath, same skin, same wounds, same fight." Her words lit a spark that no one could extinguish. Social media erupts almost instantly. Social media exploded. The hashtag Samikin Same Fight became a global movement. Fans, celebrities, and fellow athletes began sharing their own experiences with discrimination and bias, both in and beyond sports. Serena Williams reposted Gauff's comment with the caption, "Our voices echo through generations. Keep shining. Keep fighting." Naomi Osaka, who has also been outspoken on racial injustice, tweeted, "What Gail and Coco said hit deep. It's not anger. It's truth. It's love for a sport that doesn't always love us back." Even Monfils' wife, tennis star Alina Vitolina, shared a heartfelt message. "Well, I've seen my husband go through is painful. What Coco said tonight, that's bravery." Within 24 hours, major sports outlets called it the most important tennis conversation of the year. Behind the words, the weight of history for both Mast and Gauff. This moment wasn't born overnight. It was forged in years of quiet endurance. Manf, once called the entertainer tennis, has faced subtle bias. For most of his career, critics labeled him flashy, emotional, undisciplined, adjectives rarely used for white players, with similar styles. Yet he persisted, his artistry and athleticism turning him into one of the sport's enduring figures. Coco, on the other hand, grew up in the shadow of Serena and Venus, both pioneers who opened the door she now walks through. Her rise wasn't just a story of talent. It was a story of resilience in a world that often saw her skin color before her skill. So when Manf said same skin, same wound, same fight, it wasn't a slogan. It was a truth of two lives running parallel through decades of systemic inequity. And in that truth, they found each other, not as colleagues, but as symbols of something far greater. The press conference that changed everything. 2 days later, Gauff and Moni appeared, together, unplanned but united at a charity exhibition in Paris. The media turnout was overwhelming. Flashballs popped. Microphones leaned forward. Monfils began, his voice calm but heavy, with emotion. I didn't mean to make a statement that night. I was just tired of pretending that it doesn't hurt. But when Coco spoke, I realized it wasn't just me anymore. It never was. Gauff, sitting beside him, nodded quietly. You know, she said softly, people think when we smile after matches it's all joy. But sometimes that smile hides something, a small cut, a quiet ache. We keep playing because we love the sport. But love shouldn't mean silence. There's a long pause in a room, the power of solidarity. Months later at an exhibition event in New York, Manf stood together once more. The organizer projected the phrase same skin, same wounds, same fight across a giant LED screen behind them. The crowd, tens of thousands strong, rose in a standing ovation that lasted nearly 5 minutes. Coco turned to Monf and whispered, "You started this." MF smiled back and said, "No, we did." It was a moment that transcended tennis, a reminder that solidarity isn't about age or fame or titles. It's about shared humanity, a new chapter for Coco Gauff. In the aftermath, Coco's influence only grew. She became a global ambassador for quality initiatives in sports, visiting schools and mentoring young players who dreamed of following her path. But she never lost her grounding. When asked about being a symbol, she shrugged and said, "I'm just Coco. I played tennis. But if my voice can make the path smoother for the next kid, then that's worth more than any trophy." Her authenticity, her strength, and her empathy made her not just a champion of tennis, but a champion of a human spirit. Final reflection. When Gail Manf said, "Same skin, same wound, same fight," he spoke for generations who've been unseen and unheard. When Coco Go echoed that message, she turned it into a movement, a shared cry for fairness, dignity, and change. Together, they reminded the world that courage isn't just found in victory, it's found in vulnerability. That strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. We're still here, in a world that too often divides. They show that solidarity can heal, that the color of one's skin is not a weakness. It's a story, a history, a source of power. And perhaps one day when the next young athlete steps onto court, they won't have to carry those same wounds anymore, because 2 players, Gail Manf and Coco Gauff, chose to fight not just for themselves, but for everyone who came after. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next